Alright, today's been an interesting one to say the least. Had to ship something off and went to the wrong post office and they process applications for and photographs for passports. So that take a long time. I went there and then I left, came back, and there were two more people finishing up. It's like, oh darn. Ugh. So that was probably 20 minutes there at the post office, combined the two trips. And then in between I went to an estate sale in air quotes, whatever, and it was okay. Just imagine if somebody lived in a house and 95% of their stuff was gone and only 5% was left. That's what was there. So really not anything. There was almost a picture I grabbed, but I didn't find any indication that these people were local, so I just, it was a nice picture of people that were surveying or something, but I just didn't need it. $6, and I didn't want to bother them, for $6 on the cart or whatever. I saw nothing else that was any kind of, there was a bunch of stuff that wasn't priced, so did not want to mess with that and went to the next one over, and he had prices on nothing, and that was the busiest one there. Because it looked like there was more stuff. There was a third one from the same company, supposedly, or the same people that were advertising it down the street, but it looks like they were either closing up or there was nothing on their table. So I was like, you know what, just forget all that. And so, anyway, when the mail finally got here, an hour later than it usually, because normally it come here at 10:30 to 11:30, but then it became 12:30 or so, and I said, I better take a drive out and take a look, and I was like, this is crazy. And so, excuse me, I have to get all my stuff in order here. Okay, I got it. I started to pull out the garage, and the mail showed up. I was like, whoops, perfect timing. So I pulled back in the garage and thanked the driver for dropping the stuff off instead of throwing it in the box. And then, oh yeah, my order is confirmed off of eBay. I wasn't going to buy anything, but I found a seller that was pretty good deal because I found some Scottish Topps cards and some regular England Topps cards that will help bolster my collection a little bit, and one of them is in not a very good condition, but I'm looking for examples. Condition be darned. Now I don't mind damaged corners, but creases kind of bother me a little bit, but we'll see what we got, so I think I got $6 for a whopping $16, so they're all commons, and it will never be set builds because you have to do them pretty much one at a time unless you're willing to spend a lot of money. And, that's barring the stars and that sort of thing. Only one or two stars through the Scotland ones, but there are, fan favorites, popular players, and teams that people grab first. And people are looking for good condition ones. They're not looking for the poor and the fair. So those are usually available, and you save quite a bit by just getting those for your sets. Save your money for the better players. One of the things I don't understand, I got to do a little homework here. But many of these sets just have people in, boring poses. This one here is kind of an action shot. That one's not an action shot. Most people are just kind of stationary, but there are very few action shots. So if you can figure out how many action shots are in the set, maybe work from those. Then there's kind of like all-star type cards and other little variants and subsets type of thing. You might be able to work on those first so you can kind of break those sets down. But the mail, get to it, there were two things that were 100% related to each other that came the exact same day. The moon, the sun, and the stars all were aligned or something. Just absolutely crazy that it showed up all at one time. So I picked this up on eBay just for over $16. And this is Rick Steves Europe, the 20-year anthology. 60 years of travel on 16 DVDs, free bonus disc. So how crazy is that for getting it for under $17? Yes, it was technically used. I don't really care about the box being damaged. That does not worry about me. The thing about eBay is you don't want to be a media seller because you're going to get bad feedback no matter how good of a product you put out. It didn't play in my DVD player. You told me this was Blu-ray and it wasn't. This is Region 2 and I thought that all DVD players play that stuff now. And all this kind of crazy stuff. So you get a bunch of hate mail and people that dinging you for no apparent reason because they didn't read the title of the listing. So these are the DVDs in question here. I've got plenty of watching here. Over 60 plus hours of travel. How crazy is that? And I have to go through and see which ones are duplicates and that sort of thing and see if I want to keep those or whatever. Now, the other piece of mail that came in was completely related to it, because Rick Steves Europe right here. So how weird is that? Showed up on the same day from Washington. And then when I got those two items, I was like, what? Like, say what? What? That's essentially how I couldn't believe it. The two items showed up the same day. So I sent a TTM request off to Mr. Steves in Washington via, I think, this address here in Edmonds, Washington. You may or may not be able to see that. I used the address off of Star Tiger. It looked like anybody hadn't tried it in probably 4 or 5 years, but they got a response. Excuse me. And then, and so I sent a letter with 2 extra postcards that says, Mr. Steves, could you sign my insert from the DVD? And then I said, could you, and then I said, would you like to keep these postcards? So I sent a Mount St. Helens postcard and some sort of Oregon postcard. So I thought that was a kind of a nice thing to do. I might have thrown in a recipe, but I'm not sure. But anyway, so this came, and my other stuff has gone somewhere, but it might still come back. And then we got a really cool item. I got an 8x10 signed by Mr. Steves right here in black and white, Rick Steves, and it's very, very similar to what he's wearing in the anthology. He's wearing this kind of striped scarf here. So how cool is that one there? Really neat, and it's signed in pen there, Sharpie. And it looks like he really actually did sign it. So he probably has a lot of pre-signed stuff because he's very busy. And not pre-print stuff, but pre-signed stuff. And he's usually very busy with his blog or whatever, and all the traveling stuff that he does. He's almost 70, if he isn't already. He was 69 the last time I looked, and he's dealing with a few medical issues. So that was really, really fast and very quick to get that in on the exact same day. And these came lightning quick from Colorado. Somewhere in Colorado, I must have ordered it Monday or something ridiculous, or Sunday. I just don't remember. Very, very quick ship there. So that was really cool. Very, very cool. A couple other things here. The Super Bowl is coming up, and I wanted to get, I got my snacks and my food for the next few days or week or whatever. I only spent $28. Very, very happy. Not always, with the grocery store, because this is the one that has a lot of what do you call it, highfalutin, whatever you call it, kind of like the specialty brands. They have lots of that stuff at crazy discounts, and sometimes it expires right away, and some, chips, it doesn't matter. People are always buying, very on-the-edge chips or outdated chips, not a big deal, but a lot of them were sold out. Think of it this way, because my chips were only costing me half the price of a regular bag. I don't know what they are now, but most of the regular chips for a medium-sized bag were like $5 a bag. That's crazy. So, I'm buying the $1 and $2 chips. The other thing is that I completely lucked out. Wednesday was just a complete fluke, so I drove into Salem because of circumstances I couldn't control. So I drove into town and found some New Balance shoes that look like, for all intents and purposes, almost 100% mint, a little bit of wear on there from what I did. And the crazy thing is that I couldn't read the labeling in it, but I thought it said 11 and a half. I said, I'm not going to worry about it if it's like an extra half a space or half an inch or whatever you call it, half a size too big. And the crazy thing is that the bins were just slammed. Thursday evening, whatever, and somebody said, good grief, is this Saturday? I said, I don't know, but it sure looks like it. They were bringing out crazy amounts of shoes, and I think that's why it was so crowded, because people love their shoes. And people were finding brand new shoes and all kinds of stuff. And I said, you know what? So I took a look after everybody went to the shoes. 5 people were eyeballing the exact same pair of shoes and jumping this way and that way. Shoes were flying as fast as you could, because they're by weight. So some people are paying $5 for a pair of shoes. You got to be very, very on your A game of what you're buying and what you're getting. These had no insoles. So guess what I did? I bought some shoes many, many years ago at this exact same store. And they probably dated before 2018. That is my guess. These were old golf shoes, totally destroyed, holes everywhere, lawn mowing shoes, and I was slipping down the hill and all that with those shoes. I said, I got to get rid of these. but I never did because they were so comfortable. Guess what happened? I took the insoles from those FootJoy shoes and stuck them in here, and I'm like, heck yeah. So I got a really nice pair of shoes for about $5, and I don't have to worry about, because my backup shoes were all toast. So how awesome is that? And I got some other shoes I think I'm going to be throwing out here. But I took the insoles out of garbage shoes I was throwing away. So if you're ever getting rid of a pair of shoes and you like the insoles, don't throw them away. Keep them, because that might help you if you find a pair of shoes that don't have any. So all around it was really successful. I have some cool soccer cards on the way, and I wanted to share with you one that I will be getting here. So on this page, if I can get to it here, on this page, I've got one more page here, 2 more pages. On this page here, you can see these are the 78 Topps football design for the United States. These came out in 79-80, so a year later. And I'm getting the Scotland version, so I believe it's the red back. It's the red or yellow back, I can't remember which. But so I will be getting that one, and that will finish off my Topps red and yellow back and blue back and green back versions. That will finish me off there. And then I think I got like an all-star type card, and I got a few other just to have. And like I said, they were only like, I don't know, I was saying they're like probably $1.25 to $3, maybe $4, and the Scotland version of these were super hard to get. They were double the price of all the other ones, and I could tell from eBay that they're very expensive. And condition was not my first concern. And so they're all coming from the UK, and I found this guy on eBay UK, but then I did a worldwide search, and there he shows up, and with all his cards there. So very, very cool. Lots of non-sports stuff as well too, which I didn't get. These are ones that just to pick up on COMC, and best to do the England ones if you get them in the United States. Scotland ones, you have pretty much no choice and have to go get them overseas. So that's pretty much it for this video. Awesome stuff to watch. Really cool, Mr. Steves, to have sent that out, or his company or whatever. Very, very cool. Very nice. I don't know how many autograph requests, but there are shows that people watch that just don't like, like This Old House or Ask This Old House. You know how many times people have watched that or caught themselves watching that? Never have thought to ever ask those guys for their autographs. I don't have too many of their autographs because for whatever reason they don't seem to want to sign. Probably sign, if they're in person, but I couldn't get any of them to sign. Bob Vila, no one. I don't know what to do with those guys, because I would like to have Bob Vila's autograph, and so if you know anything about that. But anyway, I'm trying to get everything into this video here so I don't have to make it start over again. Just a couple of minutes here left, so let's see what else we can do. Thursday there was 0 mail. Friday there was not almost, so I was like, oh, that's great, mail. And then I got to figure out if I want to send this out. I think this guy from Lassie, Timmy from Lassie, will sign this. I've had this for many, many years. Just a piece of a book here. And John, I can't think of his name right now, but I got to see what he charges, or if he has his website. I sent him an email one time, and I just told him about a nice card that I had caught, and then I thanked him for something or whatever, and he wrote back, and that was really cool. Or somebody wrote back saying, "Oh, that's really nice," or "I really liked," or "Thank you for being a fan," or something like that. But I never had gotten his autograph, so we'll see about that one there. Too many irons in the fire. I'm trying to this year. I'm trying to finish up some of these irons, sort of thing. So, like I said, I will have, provided they come in, I will have my Scotland cards more or less finished up. Aside from other ones I might pick up in the future, but I don't need to hurry up and get another example. It's taken me 5 years to find a card from that set, and there seem to be more and more sellers bringing this stuff to light. So very, very cool. Hope everybody has a good weekend on NASCAR and Super Bowl and all kinds of other things that are happening probably this weekend. And thank you for watching.